Hello, YouTube. Well, I got a box that I got back in the summertime, back around June or July. I think June or July, somewhere around there. I was up at my friend Dave's place for about 10 days or so, and he introduced me to he kind of introduced me to the whole thrift storing sort of thing, which I'd never really explored before and didn't know really what treasures you could get there. Before that, I really assumed that thrift stores just had nothing but clothes, and that was really it. And you just went there to buy, like, I don't know, some old Grateful Dead t-shirts or something, which you can definitely buy at thrift stores. I've seen them at Goodwill before and at Salvation Army. In particular, this box is full of stuff that I got at a Salvation Army thrift store over in Mercer, Pennsylvania. And I got a printer and a soldering iron. This is a Craftsman 200 soldering iron. It's an actual soldering gun. And the difference between an iron and a gun is that when you pull the trigger, this end gets very hot very fast. Whereas with an iron, you plug it in, you have to wait for it to warm up. This gets extremely hot extremely fast, and the loop here makes it really good for unsoldering, which is kind of the reason I picked it up. And it has a control for low and high. As you can see, Salvation Army, got it for $3, and it works. It does work. The other thing I got was this printer. This is a Canon LBP 460, and we did test this printer, and it does work, but the rollers have kind of worn out on it, so it does need some help. I'll just show you around the printer. Well, here's the printer itself. It's a 90s printer for sure. If you look at it, that's a 90s Windows logo right there. Microsoft Windows printing system. And, of course, paper trays at the top. It comes out here. It looks as if it's missing the actual, like, tray holder for the paper, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter. Because it's probably what I hope to do with this printer is to put it in my workshop and make it, put it on my server and make it a good printer for my print server. Now, I have printers that are perfectly capable of doing the job, but the only problem is that they don't agree with Linux very well. I have a couple of HP LaserJet 1020s, which are fabulous printers. I absolutely love those because, well, they have a real power switch on the back. They're USB. They're just they have a little bit of old and a little bit of new in them. But unfortunately, they don't agree with Linux very well, so it's very difficult to get them to work properly. And I wanted to get a printer with a parallel port, and I saw this one at that Salvation Army thrift store. I was like, I could use this. So went ahead and took it. Still had a cartridge in it, which still works, but it actually leaked a little bit of toner fell off of it at one point, and I don't want to get it all over the place if I don't have to. But everything seems to work in here. And I did print out a page. It was a little faded. I think the cartridge is just shot, but it does definitely work. I'm just a little bit wary about that cartridge because I don't want to get toner all over the place, because cleaning that up sucks. But the main problem with this printer is the feeding roller. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a... See down there, that little bar thing. This is a printer that uses a single roller design, and that rubber roller has kind of dried up. It needs to be replaced because it does not feed paper properly, although it does print properly, so I know the printer is in good working condition. It just needs a little bit of help. It does have a little paper stand thing there. There we go. I don't think it does more than that. It's a pretty basic printer. There's the back of it. Have your power connector there. Standard computer power connector. And parallel. And the nice thing about this printer is that I got it with all the original stuff. I got it with a parallel cable and the original floppy drivers for Windows 95 and 3.1, so I could use this on a legacy computer if I ever needed to. All three floppies. And got it with all the documentation. Wow. True Type is a trademark of Apple Computer. I haven't seen that in a while. It looks as if they just put this on a shelf and never really used it. That is very Windows 3.1 right there. Thank you for choosing Canon. Canon cares. So they actually offered to help you back then. Here's a software license agreement on paper. That's something that's a relic of the past, I think. Of course, here's a quick start guide. Put together. Put paper in. Print. You can change the resolution and everything. What else is on here? Sharing the LBP 460 on a Microsoft Windows 95 network. Better to use Windows NT 4 for that. Wow. I should send this in. I should really send this registration card in. There's a warranty card. Another warranty card. Warning. Paper. Okay. Well, this is all that came with the printer. And it was just such a complete package that I thought I kind of had to have it. And once I get this thing repaired, I'm sure it will be quite a useful printer. And I know Westlife has a video on how to replace rollers in a printer, so I know that it can be done. I just need to figure out which roller I need and get it off eBay and stick it in here. Hopefully I'll have a working printer. But I just thought I'd show you this, these, well, way late to the party thrift store scores I got over in Mercer, Pennsylvania. Definitely some pretty good ones, and hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good one, everybody. Ciao.